I got a young team. All these guys have heard that spiel, and this is where you hope to get. And now that we've gotten there, let's see how far we can go. See, it's funny. I'm looking at Fresno State practice out there. There's nobody in the world who thought they were going to win the whole
that's
thing.
Right.
And that's, it can be done. It's not going to be easy, no question about that. But for us, it's more than just being here. It's more than just getting here. You like to win and see how far you can go.
Will Strasburg start the opener?
You'll find out in time.
What's going into that decision? I mean,
well, you know what? I had to make the exact same decision last week, and now all of a sudden you get to a regional, and all you guys want to scoop, want to angle your stories. That's the beauty of being in this position. I make that decision, and when I'm ready to make it, I'll let you know, not the other way around.
As a Hall of Famer who's had a lot of great moments, how does this compare? I mean, you finally get your college team to the regional. I mean, that's got to be exciting for you too, even though
For me, it's about time. I really thought this was going to be an easier gig than it's turned out to be. I thought originally, hey, I just come in, recruit the best players, and play an aggressive schedule. You win, you go to a regional. And I recruited the best players. They all signed to play pro ball. I was left with nothing. And so you make those mistakes early until you kind of get a formula that you think is going to work. In the last 3 years, I would say the last 4 years, we've done a really good job getting the kind of guy we feel like fits our program. And might not necessarily be the best guy, the most talented guy, but he fits what we're looking to do. And again, I think it's taken a lot longer than I thought it would take. It's a good feeling to finally get here. I got Aztec fans, calling me, singing my praises. Where just a year ago I was a bum. I didn't know, when he's going to get there. I didn't know what he's doing. Great players don't make great coaches. You hear all those anecdotes.
Right.
And for us, it's just stick to the plan. We stuck to the plan. We had some success this year. We won 40 games. We finally found ways to win games instead of finding ways to lose them. And so. But it takes having a guy like Steven. It takes having 4 freshmen play quite a bit. It takes sophomores coming in and having an impact. And so it's rewarding to finally get there. It's rewarding to see our fans have something to smile about. But now it's about winning. It's still about, it's always going to be about winning. So my career record just went over 500. So, I still have a lot of learning to do, and hopefully I can continue to get better. But the lessons I've learned the last 3 years have really helped immensely, I think. So.
How far has Strasburg come since he?
So he's been on that same kind of scale. He stepped in here as a freshman, and I know in my case I really wasn't sure what we had, and he kind of burst onto the scene, really forced our hand. We made him the closer. He was outstanding. A year later we make him a starter, and he was outstanding. And a year later, he's even better this year. Not just record-wise, but stuff-wise. He's night and day better than he was last year. So when we recruited him, I didn't know, we had this package. But, the 3 years he's been here, boy, what an impact he's had. And, it's going to be hard to find another one like him. But that's the challenge of coaching. That's what you do. You go out and you try to find that guy you think has a chance to develop and be hopefully a similar type guy.
Is he a one-of-a-kind guy, or do you remind you of anybody that you think?
I think he's a one-of-a-kind guy, just in the sense that I don't know how many of you guys have seen him pitch, but when you watch him pitch, 2 things are going to come out at you. One is that it's so polished as a 20-year-old, and 2, how athletic he is. People think, okay, I'm going to try to drop a bunt on him. He's one of the best fielding guys you'll see, and temperament-wise, he's just a mild-mannered guy until he gets on that mound, and then the competitive juices start to come out, and he's very competitive. So I can't. There is, I was saying to Mark Pryor earlier, but
right.
His mechanics aren't that good, I don't think yet, but he's got a chance to be very, very good.
How does his mentality separate from everyone else?
In what way?
When he goes out to pitch? How is he different? How's his competitive nature different than anyone else you've seen?
Because he's very aware of what's going on, not just of what he needs to do, but what the hitter's trying to do, what the umpire's doing. Strategy that might be going on in the game. He's very astute to figure things out and understand them and learn to react to whatever he's seeing. And hitters test him all the time. They step in, they step out, they call time. Make him wait, and none of that stuff ever phases him. He just goes out there and does what he does. And so. And I think that kind of rubs off on other guys too, because you're sitting there, you're seeing what's going on. You're seeing guys call time and step out. Take that practice swing. Trying to get under his skin, and the bench will start. Hey, here we go, get in back in. And he just blows it off. Just doesn't really face him. Where for a lot of other guys, I'm sure they would step off the rubber and make a face, kick the dirt. Do the same thing, step off the rubber. It just none of that stuff ever faces him. We go on the road, and people are going to give him the business because he's a visiting guy, and he just lets it go in one ear and out the other.
Are there some nights he's more dominant than other nights?
He does what he needs to do. Some nights he needs to punch out. 10, 12, 14. Other nights, okay, 17. Sometimes, he needs to pitch the contact. Guys are aggressive early and putting the ball in play, so he'll just pitch the contact. He does what he needs to do, and I'm sure tomorrow's going to bring a different kind of challenge because we really don't know a whole lot about him other than, what we saw on their website and what we see in the scouting report. But, I'm sure he's going to go with his strengths, but he'll be very aware of what hitters are trying to do.